Hi, you guys. So we're on chapter 54, but if you remember, we left off chapter 53 in a giant cliffhanger. Timmy was in the bowling turkey's Cadillac, which we know is like his most precious thing. He turned on the engine. He's thinking about popping the car into gear and giving it gas, and he's aimed at Corinna's house. Yeah. Chapter 54 is called We've Got to Fight the Powers That Be at the Bottom of the Hill. But I don't act. I can't. I'm just one half of a team, a man without backup, a man without muscle. I must get total. I think about taking the car, but no, can't risk it. Straight down a hill, sure, but through town to the zoo? No way. I hop out of the car and run for the zoo, but I stop at the edge of the block. It won't work. That bear is trapped behind a 20-foot moat. He can't jump 20 feet. He can't jump a can of beans. Then it hits me. Not the can of beans. Something better. I turn on my heels and run for the school, where I see the Saturday soccer games. I run through 3 different games until I find the one I need. I sprint for the woman standing at its center. "What are you doing?" Dondi Sweetwater asks me. "I'm officiating a game." "I need the goods," I tell her. "The what?" Dondi yells. A kid dribbling the soccer ball brushes past me. "The goods," I remind her. "Oh," she says, ducking under a kicked ball. "Why do you need some now?" "Never mind that," I cut in. "I need them." "Okay," she says, as a boy smashes into her thigh. "Look in the red cooler over there. I have a box of them. I was saving them for the kids here, but..." I don't hear the end of the sentence, for I am struck in the face by an assassin's soccer ball. Dazed but conscious, I boldly stay on my feet and run for the sideline, where I find the red cooler and grab the goods and sprint for the zoo. But I have no money for admission, so I duck under the ticket window and rush for the Arctic mammal section. There, asleep in the corner, is Total. I tear open the box of Rice Krispie treats and hold 2 high over my head. I watch across the wide moat as Total's nose twitches, and his right eye opens, and his left. Then he raises on his hind leg and roars, and is pushed down with one paw by Stacy, who still manages to hold the beach ball with her free hand. Stacy growls for the Rice Krispies. Total cowers and retreats toward the far wall of the enclosure. So I do the only thing I still can, which is to grab the entire box and hold it high over my head. It is a volume of Rice Krispie treats that Total has never seen before. And he explodes like a cannonball, straight across the hard stone floor of the enclosure, over the swimming pool, past the left side of Stacy, who drops her beach ball as she sees Total leaping over a 20-foot moat. Before I can stop him, he's using both paws to scarf down the treats, wrappers still on. "Eat on the way," I yell. "We have work to do." I hop on his back and ride toward the park, tossing treats in his mouth along the way. It's the fastest I've ever seen him run. We run past the evil one's house, up the slope toward the park, straight for the gleaming Cadillac. Total dives into the back seat. I turn the ignition and rev the engine and pop the car into gear. It explodes down the hill. This is for the CCIA. Past the parked cars. This is for the theft of my cases. past the green lawns. This is for the failure mobile. Up and over the curb. This is for total. And through the living room window. In a thunderous explosion of brick and wood, metal and glass. The car comes to rest at the foot of a living room table. Steam hisses from the Cadillac's broken radiator. As the smoke from the debris clears, I peer through the shattered windshield. But I do not see the evil one. I turn back to Total. We are in the correct house, right? I ask. He says nothing. I look back through the large hole in the wall where the now shattered sculpture lies on the lawn. That's the sculpture, I say. This has to be the house. I scan for any sign of the weevil bun. I see none. And then I hear a voice from the back seat. Why are you doing this? Total asks. What? I say. Why are you doing this? I hear again. Why am I doing what? I answer. Why are you doing this? Chapter 55. Guess who's coming to dinner? It is my mom, and she is angry. Why are you doing this? She yells. I am behind the wheel of the Cadillac. It is parked at the top of the hill. The engine is on, and I have not driven it anywhere. So this is why you wanted the keys? She asks. To rev the engine? I can see Crispin running toward me from the park gate. What do you think you're doing? He reaches in and turns the engine off. I just wanted to hear that sound again, I tell him. The one you made at the light. See? My mom yells at him. This is what you get, letting him grab the wheel, showing off with your stupid car. This is what I get, he yells back. You're the one that coddles him. Coddles him? Coddles him. Why do you think he still plays all the pretend games? I'm just trying to teach him to be a man. He turns the key in the ignition. The car roars back to life. Rev the engine, kid. Go for it. You're ridiculous, my mother yells at him. This has nothing to do with being a man. Crispin opens the passenger door and sits beside me. You want to hear the sound I made at the light? He says to me. Turn off the car, Crispin, shouts my mother. Go ahead. Put it in neutral and rev the engine. It's okay. It won't go anywhere. I put it in neutral and rev the engine. Stop it, Crispin, my mom yells. Now pop it into drive, kid. Come on, I've got one foot over the brake. The tires will squeal. Come on now. I don't want to, I tell him. My left eye twitches. You gonna be a little kid your whole life? He shouts at me. Pop it into gear. I got the brakes. Pop it into gear. My mother runs for the driver's door, just as Crispin pops the car into gear. But he doesn't slam on the brakes because he falls out the open door. Timmy! My mother yells as the car thunders down the hill. Crispin jumps to his feet and starts sprinting for the car. But it's too late. The Cadillac is tearing down the hill, headed like a missile toward the home of Corinna. I strain with my right foot to hit the brakes, but I slide off the seat and under the dashboard. I curl into a ball and brace for the impact. But what happened next, I don't know. Because all I remember is waking up in a cloud of smoke and hearing the sound of adults trying to climb through the large hole in the wall. And looking out through the cracked windshield at a plastic-covered recliner and a person sitting in it. a person eating a TV dinner. And it is then that I have a moment of clarity. Of Corinna, and how she kisses up to people in authority and gives them gifts, like ugly handmade sculptures they can put on their lawns, such as the one she gave to this guy, the man sitting across from me, freshly back from Key West. Oh, poor Mr. Crocus. Chapter 56, Trouble in the Red Zone. There's not much to tell you about the police station, except it was the last time my mother and I saw this guy, the bowling turkey. Only he didn't look like that. He looked like this. He's in trouble for reckless endangerment of something or other. Cops grilled him bad. Really rattled the poor stiff. Not me. I've seen the inside of so many police stations, I can practically walk them with my eyes closed. All comes with the job. And I knew the boys in blue would insist on calling me Detective Failure. So I tried to put them at ease. Just call me Timmy. The chief asked me to give a quick statement about the crash. So I did. No frills, no hysterics, just the facts. I knew how these G-men liked it. When I was done, I took a quick swig of the chocolate milk they gave me. All out of scotch, they said. And told them to go easy on the bowling turkey. Poor guy's just misguided, I told him. Afterward, they offered me a tour of the station. Didn't really want it, but I humored them. We walked past the booking desk, past the holding cells, through the cops' break room. It was nice, but nothing to write Mom about. Until we got to the impound lot outside and found something to write Mom about. I recognized it by the scratch I'd given it when I crashed into Rollo one time. How'd you get this? I asked the lieutenant who was giving me the tour. He glanced at the tag hanging from the handlebars. Parked in a tow-away zone, he said. I thought back to the Hodges' curb. Sure, it was red, but no self-respecting cop would do a tow-away job on a detective's vehicle. That can't be, I told the lieutenant. This vehicle was stolen and brought here, probably by someone this high. I held my hand 4 feet from the ground. An elf? He said, making himself laugh. This is no joke, Lieutenant. She's a girl. Black hair, ethics of a mule. I don't know anything about that, said the lieutenant. I saw the vehicle, I insisted. Behind a bank. It was contraband. The lieutenant shook his head. Kid, I don't know what you're talking about. These things all look alike. He walked back toward the police station. You don't understand, I shouted. Thanks for your time, he said, closing the back station door behind him. It's a cover-up, I yelled. But he was already gone. All right, guys, we're going to stop there for the day. When I get back to you, we'll be on chapter 57 and probably finishing our book. See you later.